Well, it's Federal Reserve Wednesday, and maybe the most underwhelming announcement that we've seen from the Fed in a long time. Not surprisingly, they kept the rate unchanged for the 10-year Treasury note. Not a surprise at all. Jerome Powell during his press conference said, there is elevated uncertainty, but the economy is in a solid position, and that the Fed is well positioned to respond in a timely way to economic developments. Now, what are those economic developments that he talks about? Well, it could be tariff uncertainty. We had good news this week from a new announcement with Great Britain, the way tariffs will shape there. As well, you've got two significant wars going on, one in Ukraine and, of course, Israel and Iran that just kicked up this week. And something people aren't really talking about, in the last 3 weeks, oil has gone from $60 a barrel to $75 a barrel. That's pretty significant. We're going to see that at the pump soon. But the real details are in the dot plot. That's a survey of Fed committee members. The GDP from the dot plot, 1.4% for this year. That's lower than they expected back in March. And then inflation, 2.8%. That is well above the Fed's goal of 2% that we've talked about being probably unrealistic. So that affects some of the decisions here. Now, here are a few opinions. One, the Fed is stuck in policy purgatory. Their job is to protect jobs and protect the cost of goods. And if they move around that interest rate too much, it could cause issues on both sides. So it's tough for them to do that and be very careful with it. People talk about interest rates and how high they are compared to historically, but the economy has been handling this 10-year Treasury note between 3.5% and 5% for nearly 3 years, and the economy really hasn't had a hiccup. So why change now? And historically, you look at the U.S. over the last 40 years, it's 4.51%. That's what the 10-year Treasury note has been. That's exactly where we are today. So these are not historically high numbers. Now, a couple of opinions, and this is if everything holds true for the next month, maybe the next 3 months. The last time rates were cut was in December. I think there'll be a good news rate cut coming in July or September. That quarter point won't make a big difference when it comes to interest rates or big changes, but it'll get people talking about the Fed. It'll get people talking about the economy and whether it is in a good position. A little sunshine on the economy. It's exactly 1 month until the next announcement, and we'll see how that goes. Have a great day.